This morning, I'm going to touch on 3 different parts of my life that have interwoven, and nature has interwoven me. One is growing up in upstate New York in a small 1 traffic light town. That's right, 1 traffic light, no kidding. I walked through the woods. I harvested apples from the apple orchard across the street from my home. My mom, Agnes, thanks Mom. Agnes is my first cooking instructor. I owe her a lot. Over a lot. Love you, Mom. She would take my little sister and I across the street to the apple orchard, and we'd harvest apples. We'd bring them back into the kitchen, and we'd make applesauce. We'd make apple pie. We had apples all throughout the winter and into the next spring and into the next summer. It was amazing. So early on, I got the connection with the land. We always grew garden. We always had a garden. And so that was a big thing. She just put the love in the food. And I also got that really early on. She put the love, everything she did. She thanked the farmers. She brought it into the kitchen and she put the love in the food. And that's, for me, one of the biggest blessings that she taught me. When I was 12 years old, something really big happened. And that is my dad, who was a long-distance trucker, had a heart attack. And he was wheeled out the front door of our home and never thought I'd see him again. And a blessing out of that, though, was that he was a good cook. And he actually taught my mom how to cook when they first got married. And he ended up buying a deli in our little hometown. So I had the opportunity, as a 12-year-old, to work with my dad. It wasn't like a choice, you know, it's like, okay, you're coming with me, kid, that's it, I don't want to hear about it. Okay, thanks, Bob. Albert Sr., second cooking instructor in my life. So again, we put the love in the food. We had the food from the farmers. We made potato salad and coleslaw and rice pudding and cheesecake and all that good deli food. And we served a lot of people, and the people loved it. They kept coming back. So along the way, he, would really encourage me to become a chef. And I'll get to the culinary part in a little bit, but the CIA was down the road. That's the Culinary Institute of America. the guys who cook, not the guys who spy. And so I had that opportunity to become a chef, a professional chef, and I'm very grateful for that path, and I'll talk about that a little later. But back to the woods. So the woods for me in upstate New York, Hudson River Valley. Has anybody been to the Hudson River Valley? Okay, a bunch of you, great. So again, really blessed. Are you there? Over there? Okay, good. Zoned out there for a minute. Okay. Sometimes in the home it was a little sketchy. I'll just leave it like that. So walking through the woods was very healing. I took my boxer dog, his name was Billy Boy, and me and my boxer, who was like this big, we'd go hiking through the woods. And the trees and the old stone walls, these are hundreds and hundreds of years old. And I always had that love for the stones, for the trees, for all the plants. I'd come out into a field and there'd be a herd of deer. I mean, not just 1 or 2, a herd.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix your peas. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Are we good?
My bad. Sorry.
Are we back?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Good? Okay, good. If we weren't awake before, we're really awake now. So again, the woods. The farmers. I want to touch on the farmers as well. So besides the apple orchard across the street from our house, there would be roadside stands. And we'd go get peaches, and again, peach pie and everything peaches and like that. We'd go blueberry picking in the summertime. Just all these things when I'm just a little kid up to, teenager and beyond, really set the foundation for me later on having a farmer-chef connection, right? Really appreciating the farmers that work so hard every day, all kinds of weather, losing crops, this and that, and, it's just really amazing. So having a deep love and appreciation for where the food comes from and the farmers that grow our food for us. So really, really powerful. That foundation was laid really early on in my life. Okay, so next I want to segue into my Lakota path. So I brought you a little prayer there. Thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. In 1990, I stepped into or I should say, I crawled into my first Lakota ceremony in upstate New York, actually in Woodstock. I was back there for a chef job summer of '89, and living with my folks. I wanted to spend more time with them. They were getting older, going through some health issues, and I crawled into my first sweat lodge. In Lakota, we say inipi. Inipi means literally life house. It's a place of renewal. And you have the stones. Has anybody been in a sweat lodge before? A bunch of you. Okay, fantastic. So we have the stone people, very hot, heated in the big fire out there for hours, brought in. You have the water, and you have all the herbs. I'm going to talk about herbs in a minute that we use in the Lakota ceremonies. And again, those are super healing. So you have the stones, you have the water, you have the air, you have all of us, and we're all in there together praying. I always tell my friends that have never been to a sweat, you go into a sweat one person, you come out a different person. You can't come out of that sweat lodge without having some kind of an alteration, a change. Very, very powerful. So that's been my path since 1990, as well as unity, of course. But just really, really strong medicine. I had the chance to go back to the reservation Pine Ridge in South Dakota in '92. A friend of mine did a sacred dance called the Sun Dance, one of their 7 sacred rites. So I got to witness just an amazing prayer. It's a 4-day prayer, but it's preparation for 4 days, and what they call tree day, and then 4 days of dancing, and then a wrap-up. So it's a huge commitment. And the people that Sundance, they dance for all of us. They pray. It's a dance of prayer. So it's strong, strong medicine. So in Lakota tradition, I brought some things to share with you today. In the sweat lodge, we use 3 different things primarily. Sage, of course, is everywhere here. We're very blessed. So the sage helps with purification, cleansing any negative energy, etc. Cedar, we put that on the stones as well. And that brings in positive energies, so the cedar people. Sweetgrass. Sweetgrass, they say, brings in our good helpers, our good guides. So that's what that looks like. It actually smells sweet. And then one other one, this is one that Donna really loves. It's called Osha root. Anybody heard of Osha root before? Osha? A bunch of you. Okay, great. So Osha root is great for speaking, for singing. We use this in the sweat lodge. You can also make teas out of it, and really all of these you can make teas out of. You can also put them into salves and lotions and things of that nature. But in the sweat lodge, it's primarily sprinkled on the stones, and then we drink it as well, depending on the ceremony. So all of those are super, super healing. I brought, this is a piece of driftwood that I got at the ocean a long time ago to represent the standing ones today. So there's a little, if somebody wants to look at this, there's a little something in there, a little secret medicine. Okay, so Lakota, I think now I want to talk about food, one of my favorite subjects. It's a good thing for a chef to like food, right? It's a good thing. So again, my early days of foundational cooking with my mom and my dad really laid the groundwork. And then going to chef school, learning from some of the best chefs in the world. And what happened to me after about 11 years of cooking that traditional French and American regional type of food, as I started to see not only the chefs that I had trained with having really bad health issues, but also, my folks. My dad had a stroke in '97, put him in a nursing home. My mom had some things. So I started shifting to an organic, plant-based way of eating. And it totally shifted my life. Absolutely 100% changing in my life. So I brought some of my favorite foods that I like to work with. Greens. Definitely love the greens. I love dinosaur kale. It's a collard green. Every day we eat greens many, many times, especially in smoothies. We were at the Eugene Farmers Market coming back from Ashland last week. Got some beautiful carrots, carrots with the tops on them, I always love the tops because put them in smoothies and you can make all kinds of wonderful things out of them. Celery is really great for hydration in the body, among other things. And onion, I think this is one of the prettiest onions ever. So, and it did have a green top, which I used, of course. Everything gets used. So they say the onion is about 5,000 years old, and supposedly it came from Egypt. That's what they say. All right, radishes. Donna had some of these last night. She said, honey, these are really spicy. So radishes, of course, are good for digestion, right, among other things. And shiitake mushrooms. So this gets into the superfood realm. Shiitake mushrooms are one of my favorites to work with. You ever want to really bring moisture to them though, I saute them in a little coconut oil and have more of a dry preparation. That's just me. And then lemongrass. At this farmer's market, I found some lemongrass. Now that's pretty unusual at a farmer's market, so I said, that's coming home. You're coming home with me. All right. And garlic as well. So that whole family of onions, garlic, super healing powers of the garlic family, onion family. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to talk now about some other uses for herbs, for spices, for the plant kingdom. One is essential oils. Anybody work with essential oils? Pretty common these days. So essential oils, basically concentrated plant medicine. You can use it in tea, you can use it in water, just put it on your body depending on what it is. A little coconut oil maybe as a carrier on your skin first. And that totally transforms your state of being, right? And I think that is just so wonderful that we can bring the plants. We are nature. I think it was Suzuki that maybe said that we're not separate from nature. We are nature, right? We are nature. We are of the plants. We are of the mama earth. We are of the water. We are of the stones. We're all of it. There are relations. Mitakuyasan, I brought my drum with me today, which I don't always bring out. And some of our friends have seen it already. So this is a drum that I had the opportunity to make years and years ago in the early 90s up in Ellensburg, Washington, which is one of the places we're going to stop at. So red-tailed hawk, and when I was getting things out of the car this morning, 2 red-tailed hawks were circling over here. So I said, okay, it's going to be a good day. This is the sacred pipe, the pipe of peace, and these pieces here represent the 4 colors of the 4 nations, the red nation, black nation, yellow nation, white nation. Of course, everybody's all together and we're all mixed, but that's the basic 4 cardinal colors in Lakota. So I wanted to share that with you, and of course the stone people, representing the stone people's lives. So. And this bag, I'm not sure where we got this, but this is what I've been carrying my drum with. It says Mitakuyasan. Everybody know Mitakuyasan? So people know Mitakuyasan? It means all my relations were related to everyone and everything. So I wanted to bring that with and share with you today as well. Okay, I know there's a lot I wanted to cover today, and I'm just going to look, see if there's anything else. We covered the farmers, we covered early days, Chef Al early days, culinary path, Lakota. Yeah. So I think just, we're so blessed in Central Oregon here. We've had the chance to go to the farmer's market and connecting with the farmers. Because my mom taught me early on, if we can go to the farm itself and pick that food and have that connection with the plant people and then bring that home and do good things with it. And thank the farmers. I ran into a farmer the other day at the farmer's market here, and they come all the way from Eugene area every week. So just like taking a moment and saying, thank you so much for this blessing, because they do work so hard. We have some farmers here in the area that I don't know how they do it. So I think it's important economically, right, to come back and support them because of what they're doing. Because the more we support them with our dollars, the more they'll grow. And thankfully, there's a lot of younger farmers coming up. The average age of the farmer in Oregon, I think, is somewhere around 55. So there's a whole new generation, thankfully though, that is coming up that's saying, I want to do this. I want to raise this food. I want to grow food for the people. So super, super important. Let's see if there's anything else. I just think that, the power of prayer, the power of love, the power of plants, and all of those elements, right? All the elements of the earth are working at all times, whether we are aware of it or not, right? It's like sometimes we forget. It's like, oh yeah, I am water. We have a dear friend in the Southern Oregon area, grandmother Agnes Baker Pilgrim, and she's the head of the 13 Indigenous Grandmothers Council. If you ever get a chance to just go see her speak, she'll make you cry. That's like, she's amazing. And she says, we are water babies. We are water babies. And I hold that always right here, so love you, Grandma. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to share today. I thank you so much for your attention. I thank you so much for the prayer. I thank the music team. I thank my sweetheart Don, of course, for walking with me. We're starting 19 years together. So,